everybody, my name is Jenna, but you guys can call me Jen, and welcome back to my channel! Today I'm here with a haul for you guys. It is almost every book probably, because I definitely forgot some, I just can't remember. Book that I've accumulated in the last month or so. These are just books that I have had laying around. Some of them I've talked about on my channel already. In a lot of my reading vlogs, I do haul books in there. Especially my book fair reading vlog that I have up, and the trip reading vlog that I went on. And I know for a fact that in both of those videos, I am not showing all those books today, because I don't remember them all. But that's okay. So, without further ado, let's get on with this haul. First and foremost, I have two middle grades that I picked up, and they are A Place Called Perfect by Helen Duggan. This is a book about a little girl who moves into a new town, and everybody there has gone blind, or has like really terrible vision. And within like the first few days there, she and her family also go blind, and I believe it is also like figuring out why it's like this. I'm not sure further than that, but I think it sounds great. And I know that there was a second one released recently that is quite October-y and spooky, so like perfect time to get into it. The second middle grade that I picked up recently was Nevermore, The Trials of Morgan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This has been talked about on BookTube as kind of like a Harry Potter-esque trials-y type middle grade that people find really magical. So it's essentially about a girl named Morgan Crow who has been cursed to die on her 11th birthday, but on her 11th birthday, instead of dying, she gets whisked off by this guy named Jupiter North to a town called Nevermore. And it kind of goes from there. She has to go through trials and all that kind of stuff. But it's really magical, and I am currently reading it. I am only on page 205 of this book, and I'm liking it so far, so I'll definitely keep you updated on this book. The next book I picked up, I actually had my friend pick up for me at the local book fair here, because she went on the very first day of the book fair, and usually there is a whole table full of these books, and I couldn't make it the first day because I was working. So I was like, if you see anything, please pick it up for me. So she sent me a picture of it, and I picked out a book from there, and thank you so much, Sophie, for picking it up for me. But that is a hardcover of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I've been looking for a hardcover version of this book for a little while now. I just think it is so magical, especially because it has like the full Mary Grandpré art on it from front and back, and I just adore it. It also has the purple boards, book boards, which I really think are fun, and I just really wanted to add it to my collection. And I really enjoy the Mary Grandpré artwork that the US editions of Harry Potter have, so I really wanted to add this to my collection. The next I'm holding for. The next four books I also picked up at the book fair when I went myself. There were a few other books that I picked up, and I can't really quite remember them. Oh, I remember them. Yeah, I do. They are The Kane Chronicles by Rick Riordan. I have been searching to add more Rick Riordan to my collection for a long time, and so whenever I saw the full trilogy of The Kane Chronicles, I had to pick them up. And those are the Serpent Shadow, which is book 3. I'm reading these out of order. That's fine. The Throne of Fire, which doesn't have its slip jacket, but I don't really care. It works fine because the spines still match. And then we have the Red Pyramid. So I'm really happy to have these, and I can't wait to get to them because I really adore Rick Riordan's writing. Speaking of Rick Riordan, another book that I picked up when I went to a local thrift store here was Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. This is his YA series, I do believe, and it follows Norse mythology instead of Greek or Roman or Egyptian, which is really cool, and I'm looking forward to picking this one up. Anyways, back to my original point. These four books are all classics, and they are all part of the Penguins Classic series that I have going on here on my bookshelf. As you can see, I have a fair amount of them, and I have four more here in my hand. Actually, I kind of like this angle better. We're gonna do this instead. I picked up Anne Bronte's Tenant of Wildfowl Hall. I picked up George Eliot's Middlemarch. I picked up Thomas Hardy's Test of the D'Urbervilles and Samuel Richardson's Pamela. These are all editions of classics that I really quite like. I have never read any of these specifically, but I have always wanted to read them. This is why I picked them up. I'm also collecting them, as you can tell. Recently, when I went to that thrift store here, I also picked up this one, which is the first book in the Wheel of Time. It is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. It is like a pocketbook of the Wheel of Time series, and I've heard on so many different platforms and in so many different places that the like king fantasy is Robert Jordan from the Wheel of Time series is iconic. So I really wanted to dive into it myself eventually. I'm thinking probably later in the winter when it's really like, you know, just snowing like crazy. I just want to dive into a super deep, intense world like this. I don't know if I'm ever gonna actually read the full Wheel of Time series because there are so many books in it, but I'm excited to have this one, and I'm excited to see why he is so critically acclaimed for all of his books. Continuing on the train of thrift store books that I've picked up this month, or this past month, I don't know when I actually picked these up. I picked up the first 15 lives of Harry August by Claire North. I have seen this book only once on Bookstagram. I have seen this book only once on BookTube, and it was talked about by Reagan from Prose Project, and as soon as she talked about it, I had added it to my wish list on Goodreads, and now I have it in my hands, and I'm very excited about it because from what I gather, this guy, Harry August, he keeps dying and coming back, and on the 11th eve of his 11th death or whatever, this little girl comes to him and says, "Oh, I'm so glad I caught you because I need to tell you that you need to save the world," or something like that. It's just, oh, it says it on the back. As Harry nears the end of his 11th life, a little girl appears at his bedside. "I nearly missed you, Dr. August," she says. "I need to send a message." This is the story of what Harry does next, and what he did before, and how he tries to save a past he cannot change and a future he cannot allow. I don't know, I think it just sounds really cool, and I do want to also get to this one this winter as well, maybe in December, maybe in January, I'm not sure, but really soon. It just seems like such a good book to read around this time of year. I also picked up during that same thrift store trip The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. This is the prequel to Practical Magic, which I read last October for the first time, and I really want to get to this October, but I have so many books on my list that I don't think I'm going to be able to, because it's just, Practical Magic is drenched in like a magical realism and that like atmospheric feel that you want around this time of year, and I think there's a movie for Practical Magic as well that's Halloween-y in some ways, but I've never seen it. But I really want to read this too. And also, can we talk about this cover? How beautiful is this cover? It looks so good. I don't know. It just, like, the whole, there's a word for it and I can't remember it right now. Magical realism. That's the word. There's a whole, like, you know, this magical realism genre of books is just so wonderful to sink your teeth into, and I haven't read many magical realist books, but I really want to read more of them because I think they have just the right amount of sparkle in like a real day life. And this one sounds like it too. So it follows the Owens family, which has been cursed since the 1600s when Maria Owens was accused of witchery for loving the wrong man. So this is set hundreds of years later in New York City, and on the cusp of the 60s, so like that's awesome. It follows her, like the family, like Susanna Owens and Franny and Vincent and, you know, like all the family of it, and I think it's gonna be perfect for this time of year. I just wish I could get to it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try really hard. The next book that I picked up was also from that same thrift haul, and that is Bitter Blue by Kristin Cashore. I read Graceling for the first time this year as part of a 24-hour readathon in the summer, and I adored it. It was just fantastic. And one of my favorite characters in that book was Bitterblue. And I know that a lot of people say out of the trilogy it's kind of not a trilogy, it's like a set of 3 books that all connect in some way but don't actually follow story-wise, so you can kind of read them out of order, which I have, because I know Graceling is not the first one. But Bitterblue is set like 18 years after Graceling, and I really want to read it because Bitterblue was my favorite character from Graceling. And also, this is just, I just really want to continue with her story. I don't know why. I don't know anything about it, but I just want to continue with her story. The next 2 books were also part of the amount of books that I bought when I was down in the States with my mum, and I picked these up from Barnes & Noble, and they were each part of like a 50% off deal, so I had to, obviously, and I'm currently reading this first one, and I'm enjoying it, which is really good. And it is There Will Come a Darkness by Katie Rose Poole. This is about a group of people. We have the Pale Hand, who can kill people with just a touch. We have Prince Hassan, who is a prince and a refugee. We have Jude, who is coming into his place of power, and he's part of like a bunch of like, he's part of an order. I don't know how to explain him. And we have Anton, who is on the run from a past he wants to forget and not be scared of. And it's really cool. And it's funny that I'm talking about this right after the Bitterblue book, because in here, all the people have powers, and they're called graced, which is really funny because like in the world of Graceling, they're all graced as well. The graces don't work the same way. There are 5 graces, I do believe. There's a list at the beginning. Okay, there's 4 graces. So there's the grace of the heart, grace of blood, grace of wind, and grace of sight. So the grace of the heart is what like warriors have. They're really good fighters, they're really good swordsman people, and they're very, very fast and strong all the time. The grace of blood is the people who heal people. Also our Pale Hand, Ephyra, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but Ephyra, she is a grace of blood, and she can kill people with just a touch, which isn't supposed to happen when you're a grace of blood. You're not supposed to be able to do that. The grace of wind is people who can, oh no, that's not wind, I've been reading it wrong, it's the grace of the mind. Sorry. And it's people who are like, who can create stuff with unique properties. We don't actually have anybody in this story currently who is a grace of the mind, so I would really like to see a character like that come in maybe a sequel. And the grace of sight is people who can see, not into the future, but prophets can. Prophets are graced with the grace of sight, and they can see into the future, but regular graces of sight can't. They can just see objects and people and stuff. They can scry kind of thing, which is something that I know from the Raven Boys series, scrying, which is kind of cool. But yes, so this is a really good one as well. And the second one I picked up was The Storm Crow by Kaylin Josephson. Kaylin Josephson. And this one I picked up purely because I have read this synopsis a long time ago, and I just remembered that there was a girl in here struggling with depression. What else happens? So something happens to this kingdom, and the aftermath like sends the main character, Princess Anthea, into a deep depression, and then her sister Kaliza is busy running the kingdom after their mother's death, and it's just like a fantasy kingdom where people can be crow riders, which is really cool. And so Thea, which is Anthea, she is finally pushed into action because she is promised in marriage to a prince, and so she has to go, and then she has to do some stuff, and then her and her sister have to devise a dangerous plan to hatch the eggs of these crows that they can ride. I don't know. It's wild. It sounds really cool, and you can't go wrong with things that have crow in the name, because apparently that's just a trend across all books right now. We have the Six of Crows, the OG one. We have The Merciful Crow. We have this one. Everywhere. Birds. I don't know what is it with birds in YA novels. They're just everywhere. But I really want to get to this one soon. It sounds really cool. And the last book that I picked up is one that I have been so excited for so long, ever since I heard that she was coming out with it. And it has been blowing up across BookTube. And I really want to read it soon because it is also perfect for this time of year because it deals with cults. And it is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Just like, can we just bask in the glory that is this cover for a second? I know I have the Indigo exclusive edition sticker here, but I tried to take it off and it wasn't coming off and I was not about to leave sticky residue on a matte cover, so it's just gonna have to stay there. But I'm so obsessed with this cover. We love Booksnake being in all his glory on this. I just love it. I just love it. Anyways, this is an adult novel, a very adult novel, must say that 8 times, adult novel that has Galaxy, aka Alex Stern, who is a bit down on her luck, and she gets the opportunity to go to Yale and like watch over the doings of the like secret cults there, which is kind of fun. I've been saying secret cults, it's secret societies. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I know it's very dark and it's not like lighthearted. I know there are supposedly trigger warnings for this, so if you want to pick it up, make sure you Google those first, just in case. But yes, I'm so excited I have this. I'm so happy I have this. I had to go pick it up when it came out. Anyways, friends, that's all for me today. I know that's not all the books that I have recently hauled recently. That's fun. Recently hauled recently. Anyways, there is probably so many more and I just can't remember them. But that's okay because you've probably seen them in other videos. Any of the videos that I mentioned will be linked down in the down bar or were linked on the screen as I was talking about them. So make sure to go watch them too, because why not? You're here. Watch them anyways. Thank you so much for watching. If you really like this video, hit that like button and put a comment down below telling me a book that you hauled recently. I would really love to chat with you about them. Make sure you subscribe too, and if you're feeling it, hit that little bell icon so you know when I upload. I upload twice a week, usually with a reading vlog and a regular video like this one, or coming up, it'll be more NaNoWriMo style vlogs, because I'm venturing into that realm because I want to. And I also do writing videos on this channel, which is very exciting for me because I do want to be a professional writer one day. So, fingers crossed. Anyways, friends, I will catch you in another video soon. Stay kind and keep on reading.